Hey friend, Graham here from recordingrevolution.com, coming to you from a hotel room today. And the reason why is relevant to today's video. So I want to talk about mobile mixing and mixing on headphones. So I posted on Instagram a couple weeks ago my mobile rig. There's a little picture. I was mixing in an Airbnb in the south of France. I've been spending some time with my family. I've been here in Europe for over a month now, and I've been mostly vacationing, not really doing a lot of work, but there was a couple little projects that I wanted to work on, and they weren't going to be too hard. And I figured, you know what, I can continue working on them. I think I'll be creative and have my creative space while I'm here in France. So I might as well bring a mobile rig to do a little bit of mixing because you can. So I got a lot of questions on Instagram about what am I using, why am I using it, how does it work, how does working with headphones work, how does mixing in weird environments work. And I wanted to show you exactly what I'm using, explain why I'm using those pieces of gear, and then give you a couple of tips for mixing on headphones and mixing remotely. I've been mixing in an Airbnb in the south of France. I was mixing in London this weekend, and now I'm here in Paris in a hotel and I'm mixing, and I'll be traveling again tomorrow and a little bit more mixing this week. So let's take a look at the rig over there. And then we'll give you some tips on how to make the most of mixing on headphones, because I feel like that's where everyone's getting stuck. All right, so here's the computer I'm working on. I'm on a MacBook Pro. I buy all my Macs refurbished, but you can work on any computer, of course. I'm on the MacBook Pro. It's a Quad i7, 16 gigs of RAM, 3.1 gigahertz processor, but who really cares because all that's changing every year. Just so you know, I just replaced my 2011 Mac Mini with this, meaning I had the same Mac for 7 years. So I like to keep my Macs, I buy them refurbished, and I keep them at least 5 or 6 years and run them into the ground. So on a laptop, MacBook, and so the problem with these MacBooks is lack of ports. It's just Thunderbolt. Which is annoying. So I had to buy a dongle. Basically, I've got this guy here from OWC. It's the Thunder Dock Mini. I have a bigger one of these at home, but this gives me, what does it give me? HDMI, it gives me 2 USB 3 ports, it gives me a SD card slot, and then another Thunderbolt pass-through. So this is just to be able to plug stuff in. Yeah, come on, Apple. I don't know what you're doing, but that's what we got. So if you see that, that's what that is. Plugged into it is my iLock, which I need for Pro Tools, and some of my plugins, like the Slate plugins. And then I'm running everything on the Scarlett. This is the Scarlett Solo from Focusrite. This is a $99 USB interface. I have a Focusrite Claret back home, which is their Thunderbolt version of this guy, basically. But these things sound amazing. I'm not using it for recording. It's got a preamp. It's got 2 channels, line in, guitar in is also a good preamp. I have recorded and done an entire song with just this, how to record a song from scratch. You can check out that video series and hear what it sounds like for yourself. But I'm basically using this to monitor. Somebody asked me on Instagram why don't you just plug into the Mac instead of here? If you're not recording, why are you using this to monitor? And the reason is it sounds better. These are better converters, so the signal comes out of Pro Tools. Sorry, I'm mixing on Pro Tools like I always do. Coming out of Pro Tools, staying digital, and is converted here on a dedicated sound card with much higher resolution, just better specs than whatever they're going to throw in the MacBook. They're going to keep the sound card as cheap as possible in the MacBook because that's not what people care about. They're going to put the money somewhere else. So I'd rather have a dedicated sound card, even just to listen to make my mixing decisions and etc. So it's an affordable interface. Again, $100. This is nothing crazy. This is not high end. I have more high end interfaces. To me, this sounds just as good. So I use this when I travel, and then I'm mixing on KRK K&S 8400s, which are my headphones of choice. I've used these for years and years and years. I mix on KRK monitors at home, and this is a natural fit for me to keep working on KRK. Like any headphones or any speaker, they've got their own EQ curve, and it is what it is. You either like it or you don't. It's like anything, you have to learn it. You have to learn it, and reference. And we'll talk about that in a minute when I talk about how to mix on headphones. So that's basically it. Pro Tools, MacBook, Scarlett Solo, KRK K&S 8400s. But this could be any pair of headphones you like, any portable interface that gives you at least 24-bit conversion, right, which they all do, any laptop, any software you like. I mix on Pro Tools, and you know some of the plugins I'm using. I got all kinds, but I'm using a lot of Steven Slate stuff, whether it's the virtual channel, virtual tubes, or I'm just using an SSL for EQ and compression. And I keep it real simple, and that's about it. There's a couple of little guys, but this whole project is a live record, actually. It's been really, really simple, nothing crazy, a couple of mix bus processing. But if you aren't sure what to buy, I've got a quick guide for you. Just go to studiogearguide.com. I'll put the link up here on the screen, and it's in the description box, studiogearguide.com, and get my free recommendations on what gear to buy at what price points. I don't make any money off of this. It's just literally my best recommendations for interfaces, headphones, speakers, software. It's all there at studiogearguide.com. Now, let's talk about mixing on headphones. All right, so when it comes to headphones, here are a couple of tips for you on how to mix on headphones, how to think about mixing on headphones, and how to get the most out of mixing in headphones. For one, recognize early on that mixing on headphones is very different than mixing on monitor speakers. It's weird, it's different. It's not better or worse, it is just different. The stereo image feels different because there's no bleed from the left speaker to the right. We're on two real speakers in front of you. Yeah, you primarily hear the stuff on the right from the right, but your ears are also hearing, your right ear is getting a little bit from the left, so the spread feels different. Bass response feels different. High end feels different. Levels feel different. Everything is a little different. So know that it's different. So that means if you are used to mixing on monitors, you're used to your certain monitors and the way it feels in a room, you might not be good at mixing on headphones right away. I certainly wasn't. So you got to give yourself room to be able to try and relearn how to mix on headphones. Just like if you got a new pair of speakers or you had to mix in a totally different room, it takes time to acclimate and get your ears and your brain used to it. So one, they're different, and that's okay. Be patient with yourself. Two, yes, you can mix on headphones. You don't need speakers because they are speakers. They're a valid medium. Anyone that tells you they're not a valid way to mix, they don't know what they're talking about. Plenty of people are mixing legit records on headphones. I've done videos on this in the past, so you can go watch it, whether it's Andrew Sheps, whether it's Jakir King. A lot of people have mixed records on headphones. So it's happening more and more. I have an anonymous friend who's a professional mastering engineer who says he's got a mastering studio and has churned out masters that are in the top charts on iTunes for his clients. But nobody knows that he masters exclusively on his headphones in hotel rooms while he tours for his band. So he's built a whole business because he delivers phenomenal results. The results speak for themselves. People are very happy with the masters. All that matters is the result. So you have to be patient with yourself. You're learning a new set of speakers and a new sense of hearing things. It may not be great right away, but it is a legitimate medium that you can use. So how do you get the most out of it? One, mix quietly. Please don't blast yourself because A, you'll kill your ears if the volume's too loud. But B, headphones already kind of change the sound in a way that you can have that hyped low end, that hyped top end, because the sound is so close to your ears that it's very easy to fool yourself in headphones if the volume is too high. So you want to mix at a comfortable low level and then also reference it by turning it way, way down. So mix at really low levels. This should apply to speakers anyway, but it especially applies to headphones because I feel like I get ear fatigue faster and I lose perspective faster on headphones. So quieter level, take more frequent breaks because again, ear fatigue. You got to take them off, walk around, do something different. Also related to breaks though, is you can just reference other material and you should always be referencing if you're mixing. That means you pull in a professional mix. It could be a Taylor Swift song. It could be a Kanye West song. It could be, I don't know why I brought those two together. It should be something that you know is professional, that is mastered, that sounds amazing, and that fits the vibe that you're going for. That way you can hear what that should sound like on your headphones to give you that reference point, that ballpark. You should always be referencing. It's the only way to turn out a good mix anywhere, but especially on headphones. And then here's what I do as well. I don't just mix on my headphones. I mix on my earbuds, my Apple EarPods, earbuds, whatever, the crappy little consumer headphones that came with my iPhone for two reasons. One, that's how most people are listening to music these days. So I have to make sure it sounds good on those speakers, those headphones. Two, it's different than my studio headphones. And that's what I need. I lose perspective. I lose an idea of what is good top end, what is good low end. all headphones are jacked up. My headphones, as good as they are, have their own frequency curve that's different from Sennheiser's, that's different from Audio-Technica's. So just changing to another pair of headphones can quickly wake up my ears and give me some perspective. So I always switch to the earbuds. So be patient with yourself. It is different than mixing on monitors, but it is a valid medium. So don't let anybody tell you that it's not a valid medium. Forget the stigma of mixing on headphones. Mix on headphones. Who cares? It works. I mix on headphones in my studio even. I do like half the time I'm on headphones. So being here, it's no different. Mix at low volumes. Take more regular breaks. Reference other professional things. You gotta reference over and over and over again to get perspective at the beginning, middle, and end of a mix. And then listen on earbuds, some crappy little earbud speakers, headphones, whatever. I even reference on my iPhone. I even reference on the laptop speakers because those are all telling of how the vocal, kick, and snare, how they sound and how they're coming through and how that balance is holding up on crappy consumer grade speakers. If my mix passes all those tests and I'm doing all 5 of those things, I can get a great sounding mix on headphones in a hotel room. I even mixed a little bit on the train coming from Paris to London. So it doesn't matter where you are. Learn your headphones, use those techniques, and you can churn out a great mix. Now, before you go, like I mentioned earlier, if you're looking to set up a home studio or just a mobile rig, or you want a rig that is mobile at its core, even if it's your main studio rig, and you don't take it out very often, and you don't know what to buy, people have been asking me my recommendations for years. I finally, in the last year or two, put together my own personal studio gear guide, and I want to give it to you as a gift. It's basically recommendations of products I own, have used, or trust the brands. And I've combed through everything from microphones to interfaces to speakers to headphones to software to all that stuff. If you have this amount of money to spend, buy this. If you have this amount of money to spend, buy this. I even have like bundle setups that if I could build a studio for this price range, I would get this, and this, and like a package deal. I don't make any money off of these recommendations. They are not affiliate links. They are just, you can buy them wherever you want to buy them. I link to where I like to buy stuff, but there's no affiliate commission. I don't get any cut from these companies. They're not paying me. It's literally for you as my friend, because my friends ask me all the time, what should I buy? And I said, well, if you can spend this, I buy this. Boom, 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 boom. It's there for you. Just go to studiogearguide.com. Get my latest recommendations. I update it every year. Maybe it'll help you navigate all the gear that is out there to purchase. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing to these videos. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you have a mobile rig, if you mix on headphones, if you have any strategies that you like to use, any things that have helped you get great mixes on headphones. Leave a comment below so we can all see and we can all benefit from it. Thanks again, and I'll see you on another video real soon.